Yo, what's up, fam? How y'all doing? How y'all doing? Yo, I'm happy to be back. I'm doing a collective update. I haven't done one in a while because I've been going through some major upgrades, DNA upgrades myself. So it's sort of like being a forerunner for this energy. I get to receive it and deal with it kind of in my day-to-day life while still trying to achieve certain things and do certain things. It's wild, but that's what I signed up for, so I'm happy to do it. But this collective energy update, like, it's all about new direction, right? New direction for a different purpose. So we came here thinking it was about one thing, and now we're transitioning. Humanity is transitioning to find out that it's about something totally different. We are here to be our own superhero, so to speak, and not just try to save another. It's like we're learning that we have to save ourselves, and in saving ourselves, in saving our sanity, in saving our physicality, in saving so much, but in saving ourselves, we're also finding that is our purpose. Like, that's what we're doing. We're frequency holders for change. And so while we're going through all this amazing change right now, what we are seeing is the whole collective around us is awakening. We are catalyzing this change by just being ourselves. So I'm really excited about this update, right? So anyway, here we go. The first thing is that I received in meditation for the collective is mental stability. Like, we're going to have a lot of mental stability through this 8-8 portal, through this Lion's Gate. We're going to have to know everything about ourselves. We're going to have to know who we are. We're going to have to know what we like, what we don't like, what we're going to accept into our lives and what we're not. We have to stand on this firm ground moving into this portal, because this is going to bring us a huge sense of mental stability. Random consciousness is, or I should say, random forms of consciousness may shoot in and out of your mind. In other words, it plays out like this. I'm hearing voices. You might think you're going crazy or something, but you're not going crazy. What's happening is that the collective agreement, the collective agreement we have, is transitioning. It's rising in its frequency. So we as way showers, we as ones who are holding that frequency and catalyzing the change upon the earth, whether you call yourself light workers, whatever you call yourself, you're a divine being. And you are holding this frequency here in this plane of existence, and you're doing it to transition those around you, right? So while we're doing this, we are going through these huge DNA upgrades. So that's what this is. This is us standing on what we know to be true about ourselves, about the inner work we've done. So if you've done the shadow work, if you've done the inner alchemy, man, you are so ready for this, because this is going to literally catapult you into your new timeline, into that ascension frequency you wanna live on. That new timeline, right? That everybody's so excited about, new earth, transitioning to new earth. And we're going to need mental stability. We're going to have to be able to be strong in our mind, in what we know about ourselves, right? So while we are doing that, we're ending the mind control that was so prevalent up on the earth, where TV, movies, food, all of these things that bring us into a different mental alignment other than our highest ideals of ourselves. Anything other than that, right? It's messing with our mind. So that is mind control. Something that is controlling our mind, and it's outside of us. So that's bad mind control. You should be controlling your mind, right? So this is ending, and it's ending because we are catalyzing this change. We are as a collective now, not just a couple of people here and there. We as a collective are coming into this independent mind, we're coming into this independent form of self, if you know what I mean. So we're not thinking, it's weird. Let me try to describe this energy a little bit better. Okay. We are learning to become an independent thinker. In other words, to care about ourselves, to self-soothe, to self-love, to do everything within ourselves, right? We're learning to do that, but we're learning to do it for the collective, for the whole of humanity, for the whole world. So by first being able to internalize this change and do it within ourselves, be in union within ourselves, that divine masculine, divine feminine energy within, when we're able to harmonize that and come into union with that, we're then able to hold that higher frequency code. And when we are able to do that, we are catalyzing the change amongst humanity because they view it, they see it. So this is why you have to be the change you want to see. If you are being the change you want to see, you're catalyzing everyone around you to become the very thing you are. It's almost like monkey see, monkey do, right? Well, in a way, yeah. Because when you stand in that power, when you say, hey, I'm going to be a better version of myself. Today, I'm not going to get so angry when, the kids making noise or whatever, because I have children. So that's one of my things when I'm making, when I'm studying or meditating, I'm like, guys, calm down, stop screaming, stop yelling, and they're just being children, they're just having fun, but it's like catalyzing that change within them starts within me. In other words, I have to maybe plan my day out a little bit better, maybe go a little bit earlier when I know they're asleep or something like that. It's so many different strategies that I can employ there. But my point is that I have to catalyze it within myself first. And when I do that, I become the example for others to follow. So we're ending this mind control where others are going to wake up. They're waking up and they are trying to figure out what the hell was going on, because these were souls that were sleeping. These were souls that were sleeping. We were once asleep. We were once, as the Bible would put it, we were once lost in our transgression. We were lost in our sins, right? Our sin is, let me explain this. The moon used to be called sin. So when we were lost in our sin, we were lost in the moon. The moon stands for illusions. Okay? So if you are lost in the illusion, you're lost in your sin. You're lost in sin. It's an old scripture, right? It was a scripture that was written at the time the moon was called sin. So when you put it into, the connotation it was written in, it makes perfect sense, right? So being lost in your sins actually means to be lost in your own illusions. So we are now coming into the point where we can control our mind and we can control the illusion. So now the illusions are not so real anymore. We can kind of distinguish between them because the divide has happened. The old earth and the new earth has divided. It has separated. Like I said, new direction for a different purpose, man. It's like all of our lives are transitioning into this. The things that we thought we were going to be doing, we're not. The people we thought we were going to be with, we're not. But it's an upgrade, just like the DNA was. So fear not. Don't even worry. Don't stress, right? So the old chapter is over. 8-8 portal is bringing us into the new chapter. And it is amazing. This new chapter is amazing. Why? It's already been written. But here's the secret. It was written by you. You wrote it. That whole end of the chapter when, Spirit kept saying, let it go. Let the old go. The things that don't serve you no more, let it go. Remember all of that? In some of my other updates, I told you, Spirit showed me a suitcase. It was like a suitcase. And it was packed full of stuff and you couldn't even, you couldn't get it closed. You sit though to try to get it locked, right? It was amazing. But you sit on the suitcase trying to get it locked and it's so stuffed. And it's like literally, Spirit is like, okay, empty your suitcase. Only pack what you need. Pack light. I got you. When we get to the other, man, you don't even need that half that stuff anyway. So Spirit was showing us in his way, like it's time to let certain things go, certain people go, certain habits go, right? And in place of that, new things came, new people, new habits. All of these things were to transition the soul into the new cycle, because this is the end of a soul cycle. Very important soul cycle. Most of us for the past 10, 12 years have been doing some immense soul growth. So the soul cycles, most of us don't talk about soul cycles, but we grow in soul cycles. So about every 10 to 12 years, you're going to hit a massive growth. These are called decades, right? So when you get into, if you look at every decade that you transition into, you will see so much change that kind of coincides with this whole idea. So anyway, not to digress and get into something else, but the new chapter, you are starting a new chapter that you wrote. So in the old, at the end of the old chapter, this is what Spirit was asking you. The Most High was like, hey, what do you want? What you want on this other side? And you had to recreate yourself, get into your imagination and see yourself in this higher life. Not higher light, in the higher life. See yourself in the higher life. When you see yourself in the higher life, I mean, really imagine it. Really see yourself in the higher life. When you can see it, you can be it. Once you are being it, you are becoming it. So you're coming of it. I ain't gonna go there, but y'all get the point. Oh, y'all get the point. All right, so this, in this new chapter, it is aligning us with mission, aligning us with our assignment, what we came here to do, what we came here to truly be. And for some of us, this was hidden. We didn't know. And if you would have known, you'd have messed it up. So, man, look, I'm knocking stuff over. But if you would have known, you'd have messed it over. You'd have messed it up. That's for somebody. I don't know who that's for, but things just like that, things are getting knocked over. In my last update, the Divine Father energy was returning. The Divine Father, he's coming back. That energy is coming back of protection, of structure, of building, and also of reverencing the divine feminine. Like, that's one of the things I'm really so excited about. You know, when I get into that energy of the new divine masculine. Oh my goodness, it's so amazing. It's like we're not building on this egocentric energy of I gotta be first. I gotta be the winner. I gotta be the champion. We're not building on that. We are building on this energy of the essence of the divine feminine. And when we get into our divine feminine, we actually are understanding and understanding that we are all one. She is me. I'm her. She's me. That's why it's a we. We take the W, turn it upside down. It's me. So, I don't mean to digress into that, but it's just such a beautiful energy that the masculine template holders are going to experience as we go into these new relationships, these new divine unions, these new, twin flame relationships. Oh my gosh, it's going to be amazing, right? But coming into that, as we're talking about that mission, right? Mission, what we are here to do. So a lot of us, as we're coming into union with this feminine inside, this masculine feminine energy dichotomy inside, we're learning to speak the language of it now. The soul has grown to the point where it understands the language of ascension. It understands the language of frequency, and how sometimes you got to fall back. Sometimes you got to piece yourself together. But this whole journey of remembering itself is real. And this is the time where we are really understanding everything we went through and why we went through it. So, what was I saying? Yeah, the twin flame journey, right? So for those of us on the twin flame journey, because of that union you have came to within, you are now seeing it reflected. So the value that you have come to know about yourself, man, it is now being reflected outwardly. So the mirror of life is giving you back the value that you put into you. So for some, hey, they're gonna be excited, and for some, they're not gonna be. For some, they're not gonna be too excited, right? But for the majority of us who have done the work, oh my gosh, we're gonna be so excited. We're gonna be so excited because we are receiving back something that we didn't even realize we had put out, but it was because you were defining your value. So it's like, Spirit showed it to me this way. We put our nose down and just went to work, put our eyes on our work and just went to it. So if we are chiseling out this diamond out of rock, we just going at it, boom, 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 boom. We got to be meticulous. But it was a revolution, like taking hold within us. So every time we hit, it was like we wanted more and more and more because we could see the diamond we were becoming. It was actually a reflection of us. See, that diamond was you. And every time you hit it and a piece of rock flew off, you were you were exposing yourself more and more and more. And sometimes you looked in the mirror and you didn't look like a diamond. You wasn't polished up yet. You looked pretty rough cut, right? But the more you kept going, you saw the beauty within yourself. You started loving you so much that everything else around you fell off. Nothing that cannot live in love with you can exist in the new timeline. It will fall off. This is where the mental stability is going to have to come, because for some of us, we're going to realize that the people we thought loved us didn't love us. We're going to realize that family don't mean I got your best interests at heart. So it's going to be a lot of transition. But this beginning of this new timeline, we got to know that it's gonna have some destruction with it, because the old has to be destroyed. The tower has to fall. So we've been told for so long, let the towers fall where they may. Here we are, right? So this new soul cycle begins. We're into this new soul cycle. And as this new soul cycle really takes hold on us, and this is the beginning of it, right? We know this all happens in cycles. Everything happens in cycles. And it happens for us at different times, because we all have our own timeline, but then we have the collective timeline. And so as the divide has already happened, and we are, quote unquote, uploading our consciousness into the new earth paradigm. See, when we are reborn, we are reincarnated, we will be reborn, reincarnated on the new timeline, into the new earth paradigm, not into this old. And that's why it was so important not to get into the lower consciousness of the pandemic. That happened to slow everything down, because that was the divide. That was the moment when the cracks started to go and divide. And we have been going through this continual division since then. And the gap will continue to get wider and wider and wider and wider. So don't live in fear. Live in the fact of knowing what you are doing is not only for you, but it is for the generations that are to come after you. That's what we're doing. That's why we are template holders. That's why we are going through the DNA upgrades. That's why we came here and we're walking through the shit storms. That's why we're doing it. So, new soul cycle begins. As our souls begin in this new maturity, that the father energy, the divine father energy, the true masculine energy is bringing back to earth. And we're getting these upgrades through the solar CME burst. We're getting these upgrades. So every time you see a CME burst, just know you are getting these upgrades that are coming through, right? And now that we've kind of transitioned through that, a lot of us are going to, we are getting matured by this divine father energy, right? But at the same time, the divine mother energy, we're actually getting to know what the true feminine is now. We're actually getting to know what a true divine feminine actually looks like. But not physically, but emotionally, mentally. That's important. The physical for this new, for the new divine masculine energy, just to throw this in there, the physical for us now is taking the place, or the emotional is taking the place of the physical. So the way we view the physical, that is going to become emotional. You're going to view your emotions in that way. You're going to give it the same weight, the same validity. So when you come upon a female, don't be surprised if you are talking with her and you are feeling all kind of emotions inside, but physically you kind of feel nothing. That's going to be okay, because you are connecting with her through the heart chakra now, not through the root chakra. See, that's where we were. That was the old chapter. The new chapter involves connecting through the heart chakra. This crown and heart chakra connection of energy that circles through here. So this energy field, this part of our aura where we connect that with people is now going to become very prominent. And you have to feel into it. Like I was talking with a friend. It was so funny. It was like the spirit gave to me like this. The Most High, I'd be chatting with the Most High, so y'all gotta forgive me. But it's like I'm sitting there and I'm chatting. And I'm just like, we gotta start having heartgasms. Like there's no more orgasms for us men. We gotta have heartgasms, because it is from the heart that we have to gasm out or open up. So when we are in this moment of pure ecstasy and intimacy, this has to be coming from our heart now, not from our root. It's such a difference in energy. But anyway, back to alignment with the mission, right? So the twin flame unions are coming together. We're going through our new soul cycles. We went through our 10, 12 year soul cycles. It's something else. Oh yeah, the dormant DNA within us. It's activating. It's activating even more. So I think science calls it junk DNA, but ain't nothing in you junk. Everything in you means something, right? So the dormant DNA within you is activating. So the ascension symptoms may start coming back again. We may start getting that head ringing, blurred vision. But, if you feel like you need to go get checked out, go get checked out. All right. I'm not your doctor, but hey, I'm just saying, maybe do some fasting techniques, just drinking water and that's it. 24 to 48 hours, allow your body to process out all of the junk in it, right? Because most people don't even know this, but you have so much plastic in your body that your kidneys literally are working at about 70% of capacity of what it could do, like what it could filter out through your body, because it's so full of plastics. Like, yeah, it's crazy. But it's because of the environment we live in, the things we eat out of, we don't realize the minute amounts of plastic and how it adds up in our body, just like the sea, the oceans. They have plastic in them too. So this is for somebody. So, hey, make sure you're doing your cleanses. This is going to your mental health, because you're going to need the mental stability. The change is going to be happening like this. I'm telling y'all. Between now and December, just expect leaps and bounds of changes. And then we get from December to April of 23, where we'll be going through another eclipse moment. And that's going to be another profound change. But anyway, stay where I'm at now, stay in my present moment. But let me think. Yeah, that's about it, I think. That's about it that I really think I had to really update the collective on. Let me see. Yeah, I think that's it. All right, so I'm gonna do a card pull. I feel like I need to do a card pull. Right. And I'm gonna use my Universal Numinous deck to pull this out. So while we're going through this major soul growth moment of maturity, we're maturing. And everybody has divine masculine, feminine in them, so nobody's without this, right? But these twin flame unions, these purple flame, I saw them in the purple, right? In the purple. They're being handcrafted by the divine, and we are coming to this point where we have to allow these things to be. We can no longer try to live in the old chapter. The old chapter is taking us to places we don't want to be no more. But yet we're talking about newness and the new and how we're going to be there. So I got my Neptune card. It'll probably come up in reverse. I got my Neptune card, right? So in the dreams, yeah, it's in the reverse. But what you might be experiencing right now is living in the old dream versus the new dream, having to decide which way you want to go. So coming into a balance, a harmonious balance within yourself, between the goals of the divine masculine and divine feminine. You know, our subconscious, that divine feminine within us, is ready to rebirth us into this new being of ourselves. It's ready to give us exactly what we've been asking for. And so I say that my Taurus card comes out, and of course it will come out because that's North Node, right? We are headed toward this new timeline of building stability, of becoming that new version of ourselves. Not just talking about it, but we actually being it. We walking it like we talking it. So that old version of not being mature in your consciousness is going away. And that maturity that locks you onto your timeline is coming into being. It is evolving you into that new creature. That new creature. See, behold, you have become new. You're not old anymore. You have been cleansed and purified. And check this out. You've been washed in the blood of the Lamb. Why? Because you've been a sacrificial lamb. You have lived lifetime after lifetime after lifetime, and you have been sacrificed lifetime after lifetime after lifetime to this matrix. So now that sacrifice is over. You have transcended it. You have gotten the DNA upgrade for your template. You've done the shadow work. You've integrated all of these aspects of yourself. So no matter what things look like, they may fall on the left, they may fall on the right, but it don't matter. It won't come near you because you're not a frequency match for it. You're not a frequency match for it. All you have to do is delete the old programming that's telling you you are a frequency match for it. All you meant to do now is observe. That's all you meant to do now is observe. That's why it says, I'll see with my eyes, but it shall not come near my dwelling. That's for somebody too. It's your perception. So yeah, I get, this is the third house card, and it's bringing us into this Energy of what we perceive is what we believe. If you believe it, that's what you're going to see. In the very first beginning, I was talking about that you have to hold on true to what you believe about yourself. You do. Because overall, a new direction for a different purpose. We are headed in this Lionsgate to a different purpose in our daily lives. It's amazing. So we're coming into it. I have to get my other camera on so that I can show y'all the cards better so they're not reversed. I hate showing y'all the cards when they're reversed because you can't see them anyway. When I talk to people, they be like, man, I couldn't see the card. So I'll be like, well, why waste the time showing it, right? So anything else they need to know about this soul cycle we're coming up on, about this soul cycle? Oh, yes, sir. 12th house, surrender. Surrender them secrets. 12th house, right? Oh, my gosh. Come into balance. So I get my Libra card in 12th house. Libra card in 12th house. So what that's saying is this. It's time for you to dump the secrets. It's time for you to delete them. Let them go. They're part of the old story. They're part of the old chapter. You no longer have to be held bound by them. You are free of all attachments because you've done the work. And because you've done the work, you can now stand up and be counted with joy because you are a light. And now you're meant to shine that light. But you have to surrender. You have to surrender to the divine. The Most High, you have to surrender. You have to let it go. Your ideals, what you had ideas about what was going to happen, you have to let it go. That new version of you that we talk about so much, that part you've been remembering about yourself, remembering all the past lives, going through all this hell, this controversy. Hey, all that was for what? What was it for? Exactly. You. Becoming the best version of you so that now you could use it right now. So you have to surrender your ideals. You have to come into that balance, that Libra energy with your past and your present. Come into balance with it because you don't want it to hinder your future. We're supposed to live in the present because the present is a present that has been presented to you. So every time you open your eyes, it's a gift. So, become in harmony. Yeah. And that divine feminine within. You need to surrender the divine feminine energy within. Some of us have toxic feminine energy within us, especially us masculines. Oh my God. Some of us masculines got so much toxic femininity within us. Remember, fellas, remember this. All right. The feminine energy that I'm trying to say this in a nice way. I don't want to offend nobody. The woman that you are attracted to, you're attracted to her because you identify with that energy within. Other than that, you wouldn't attract it. It's like a magnet. So if I got a woman that I'm fed up with, she toxic, doing all kind of negative stuff, what attracted me to her? What made me say, this is the perfect woman for me to be with or to have my kids? What? It was something within me that identified with it that said, yeah, I'm attracted to that. Even though the physical may have caught your eye and called your manhood, it's something inside of you that identified with her as a female, as a feminine energy in your life. So you attracted the feminine that is within you. You have to let that toxic femininity go and see the new version of femininity. The new version that has come here, that has literally redefined itself. Not the toxic femininity. That is the old earth, the old timeline. And you got to let that version go. For some of us, that entails a lot because we are responsible for a lot. But your shoulders are wide enough to handle it. Soul growth. It's all about soul growth. It's not to kill you, it's to make you stronger. You gotta get that inner body right? That summer body. Update I did a couple of months ago about the summer body, getting them inner muscles strong. Yeah. Because you are meant to be the change you want to see. So if you want men to be better fathers, it starts with you being a better father. And it also begins with you being a better father within yourself. How do you father yourself? How do you mother yourself? What does the divine feminine say to you versus what does the divine masculine say to you within? Because this is what brings the confusion. So that's for somebody, but all right, that's it, y'all. It's been about 35 minutes on this one. But anyway, I just want y'all to know, in this journey of soul growth, we are constantly evolving. We are constantly becoming a better version of ourselves, and it's never over. We're doing it in cycles. We're ascending in cycles, in waves. That's why I say ride the wave. And my fam know what I'm saying. All of my frequency adjusted manifestations. Yes, sir, the fam. We are ascending and adjusting. Yes, we are. And we are the manifestations of source code itself, the most high, right? But y'all know what I'm saying. This is a soul game. Just never forget, man. Like, I don't care about what happens in your day-to-day. Remember, this energy, the energies are either bringing you soul growth or it's taken away. What's the opposite of growth? Shrinkage. As above, so below. As within, so without, right? Soul growth, when the energy comes that allows your soul to grow, it expands you. And we're in this expanding time right now. The astrology is amazing right now. So all those points of consciousness that we call stars, they are aligned right now for us to have the biggest paradigm shift of our lives. And all we have to do is embody the change that we want to see. Just be it. Just be it. In all of its beauty and all of its glory, be it. All right, y'all. I'm going to get out of here. Y'all live in harmony and bliss. Y'all live in harmony and bliss. And hey, I love y'all. I love y'all. Self-love first. Put your oxygen mask on first, and then put somebody else's oxygen mask on. I love y'all. Live in bliss.